Kristen thinks I'm crazy. I just opened a new pack of paper. We do a lot of printing here. There's all the stuff's in front of us.
Yeah, the 20th century technology still rules here.
Big time.
It may come as a shocker.
We're keeping Staples in business. Let me say that.
I have friends who are like, so is everything on like iPads now? And I'm like, no.
No, man. Nah, bro.
When are you going paperless?
Yeah.
Not. Wanted to at one point. Thought about it. Didn't work.
Too unwieldy.
Too unwieldy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the paper isn't, okay? So we all know about inflation. We know about prices going up, of course. And we've chronicled on this program many times. We're like a watchdog for shrinkflation, where potato chip bags, same price, fewer chips in the bag.
Do not get Dave started on ice cream.
That man will.
He'll squawk about what a gallon of ice cream is and isn't.
What it used
for
to be.
an hour.
I remember when. We know.
Remember when a gallon was a gallon?
It's not even what it is now.
I almost said ice cream. Oh, my God. Yeah, the packaging is different.
No, forget it.
All right, so just today, I opened the new pack of paper, and I take paper very seriously, and I got a box of paper that has, 10,000 sheets in it, which will keep us printing for the next few months. Mm-hmm. I just cracked it open, and I printed all these papers in here, and I've got it here in front of me, and I said, this paper's thinner. I said to Kristen, this paper is thinner.
I'll tell you, it looks flimsy.
Okay, right? So then I handed it, I said, take this paper. He's like, I'm not going to waste my time with it. I said, don't you see? They're slicing it thinner. This is a thinner
That looks
paper.
real thin.
This is how it starts.
This is a droopy, thin piece
of
flimsy paper. And I went back. I have a big box of recycling next to the desk. I used to not do that. I used to just throw it away. And Kristen said, you really could. There's a lot of paper in here. So I got a big box of recycling.
If I bring you the bin, will you do it? All right. Yeah, I'll do it.
Right. So I've got a box now with recycling. And so I went and got on my knees and went back in there to paper.
To the refuse.
Yes. To paper from last week that had been thrown away.
You see?
And compared it.
Aha!
And Kristen said, you're being driven out of your mind. They're slowly driving you out of your mind. I think big paper is cutting back on the material, the thickness of the paper, slipping it in on us because it's the exact same.
The packaging looks identical.
It's the identical.
So
packaging.
there's no. I wish we could get the last packaging.
I have it
to make sure. Okay,
I have it.
To make sure that our like the office person didn't order the wrong.
Right. The box and the paper it comes in are the exact same. I just happened to have it left over. I had both boxes in there. I said, Kristen, look at this. And Kristen said, I'm not going to waste my time on this kind of exercise. But I do believe I think that's how they're getting us. Mm-hmm. And I think they've been doing it with a lot of products, like ice cream and the rest. Okay. So now they're doing it in big paper. They're trying to slip it past us. So that's, that drove me crazy. And then I was telling Kristen, I shouldn't even tell this, but I have been debating on whether telling the story. I was made uncomfortable on Friday at an event, okay? And I think that the person in question is probably not listening yet. It's so early. So Kristen and I were at an event on Friday. Very nice lady there with her daughter. And they couldn't have been nicer. And I've met them a couple of times now. And, just hung out and chatted for a while. And we were at a opening of a truck driving school. By the way, a lot of dignitaries there. The Diesel is on the... my friend the Diesel,
Chamber,
who I pickleball with, he's on Chamber of Commerce, so he came out to cut the ribbon.
I couldn't believe how many dignitaries.
It was unreal.
I'm not. The last time I was a part of a ribbon cutting, they opened a Bojangles in a mile from my old apartment.
Yeah, grand opening.
No,
that's a big deal. The mayor cut the ribbon when I was at the Bojangles.
That's right. Well, the mayor cut the ribbon.
Yeah,
it's a truck driving school because there's such a shortage of truckers now. Do you know that somebody out there told me there's a shortage of truck drivers, there's a shortage of plumbers, electricians,
mechanics.
A guy told me
construction workers.
Yes. Mm-hmm. This guy told me all those types of jobs that we just mentioned. He said for every one person that takes on the job, that comes into the industry, 3 people retire. That's why we have such a shortage. That's why if you want work done around your house, it takes a long time now. That kind of stuff. So this truck driving school was a big deal, and they're already up and running, and it was the grand opening, so dignitaries were out to cut the ribbon. This very nice lady was there with her daughter, and her daughter is, tween, youngish, early teens, I guess. And as we're leaving, I was walking to my car, and Chris Demm was walking to his, and we were on opposite sides of the parking lot. We never like to be very close to each other.
I don't blame you.
As his custom.
Which is fine.
He sees where I'm going. He goes, it's a completely different place. So I start walking, and the lady who's there with her daughter was between me and my car, and she goes, oh, Chris, I am freaking out here. And I said, what? She goes, my daughter just got her period. And I was visibly uncomfortable. And I said, oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. And she goes, you don't understand. This is her first period, and she just got it. And I was like, oh, I'm leaving now. My time is
We're
done.
out
Here.
of T-shirts.
What? I don't
know. We don't have it.
I just
There's
said,
nothing.
She said, I probably shouldn't even be telling you this.
No.
I said, you really should not.
Of all people.
I said, you should not.
Is the daughter just hiding from embarrassment?
She was in the bathroom, I suppose. And she goes, oh, she just got, and I said, oh my God. And so then, she says, well, your daughter, has she gotten, and I was like, I don't know. Please.
I don't want to know.
I just put up my hand and said, please, I'm leaving.
You've
now.
Instructed your wife not to let you know?
That's correct.
If when that happens?
That's correct. If that ever happens.
Or how long ago?
I don't know about it or want to know about it.
No.
And believe me, they're in no hurry to tell me either, so I'm not going to inquire on this.
I think it makes the average man squirm more.
It is
an
impossible scenario for men, I mean, we've heard.
Yeah, what do you say to her?
Well, in the 80s, they had parties. Remember, Blossom had a party.
And we have there's a comedian we have who has talked about her daughter had a party, and it's a period party where everybody brings red food and red Kool-Aid and stuff. But when this lady, who I barely know, who's unbelievably nice, told me that, I wanted to assist in some way, but realized I have no way to do. I mean, in retrospect, as I was driving home, I thought, well, I could have gone to the drugstore and bought some tampons for her, and brought them back.
No.
Well, there was a BP down the street.
There was.
I brought your tween some tampons. No.
Would that have been the right?
No.
Well, it would have been worse if you pulled them out of your car. Because you have everything else in your car.
If
Athletic
you would've-
socks,
I do.
pickleballs.
If you would have done that, Chris Demm and I would be doing this show alone this morning.
Probably right.
And saying we can't comment.
You're probably right.
You'd be trying to hide your face with your handcuffed hands.
Seriously.
My God.
I was 5 minutes down the road and thought I should have gone to that BP and bought some tampons for that nice lady and brought them back over to her.
They'd have called up the police on you in the drugstore as you tried to explain what you were doing. Yeah, there's a girl at a truck school that just got her very first period, and I feel it's my duty. What?
Where's the girl?
Psycho.
Where's the girl?
You're right.
Yeah,
I'm
they'd
glad.
arrest you
thank
for
God.
suspicion of kidnapping.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't do that.
Yeah.
You're exactly right, because I did think of it, but only 5 minutes too late. I was down the road and thought, there's nothing now that I can do to assist. As she was telling me that her daughter got her period, I looked across the parking lot and saw Chris Demm and wanted to wave to him.
You know who loves stories like this? Chris Demm. Why don't you go run over and tell him?
Please.
Tap on his window. He's still here.
I saw him waving goodbye to everybody and getting into the car and thought, oh, man, I was parked in the wrong place.
Yeah.
If we had parked opposite, he would have gotten that story.
Maybe she thought that because you have a daughter as well, that,
Well, yes.
you could commiserate with
It
her.
is universal, Biggie, for
that's right.
parents of girls.
That's right. We had a guy call here before you even joined this program, but it was a long time ago, who was a single father raising his daughter. And he said, I had to learn all about that. He said, he had somebody he knew tell him how it worked. And so then he, had to be there for his daughter. Oh, man, good parenting, tough for guys. We just don't do that stuff. And then earlier today also, Chris Demm thought I was crazy on this too. Bill Gates is saying that all meetings within 2 years will take place in the metaverse. You will not. Yeah. This is along with our paper issue.
Okay.
Right.
He says you won't even need paper in 2 to 3 years. All the meetings, instead of coming into an office and getting together, it'll all be done in the metaverse. So I kept saying that. And Chris Demm said, "Stop saying metaverse. You sound like a fool." You know how he does. LKA over
just
there.
knock it off.
Yeah, please. Just shut up saying meta. I was like, oh, we'll be in the metaverse, this and that. You know, I thought I sounded real smart saying stuff
Yeah, you
like
sound
that.
hip, cool.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Bill Gates, Elon, we all talk about the metaverse.
Really? Are we really going to be in the metaverse? Do that?
What do you think?
I don't think so. I think we'll be back in here. At least
What do you
here.
think this room will look like in radio, modern radio studio?
Same.
Semi-modern.
I think it'll look the
Yeah.
same, and I think we'll still have meetings
Microphones, computers.
and the conference room, just like always. You know,
Now, the conference room does not get used as much.
once a week. I mean, we have a meeting in there on Tuesdays. That's
Yeah.
about it used to be there was more meetings in there. Now they are Zooming from home.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
The sales team does. They work from home. They work remotely.
Now I wonder. Well, once again, last night I was at a little Christmas gathering of the neighborhood. Went to our neighbors had a party, and so I just met some new neighbors. And the woman is an anesthesiologist, and she says she works at the hospital here. And she said, I think we're getting ready to have another wave of COVID. I think we're going to hit a fourth, fifth, whatever wave. And because she's seeing increases in cases coming in there, not that it really affects her that much. She's an anesthesiologist, but she said, I think we're there. I said, do you think it's just a little uptick because it's getting colder? She said, nah, I think we're getting ready to go into another wave of it.
Yeah.
Which would really stink, which means,
Eggnog.
Did you pull up your mask?
no. We're all in there, maskless.
Yeah.
And
Yep. Shoulder to shoulder.
sitting in there and chatting. And
Yeah, as you know, I've been watching the numbers myself.
yes.
And I'm backing out again.
Oh, you're backing out.
Yeah, I'm backing up again.
You were.
What does that mean?
You were
I was going back out more, but now
backing in.
I'm back at
You're backing in.
I'm heading back inside. Mm-hmm. Yep. I put my toe in the water for a while. Mm-hmm. Felt pretty good, but it's ticking back up, and I just feel like it's chasing me.
Well, that's good news for the delivery drivers in the
Still in
vicinity.
business. Still in business.
Yeah.
I when we first we had a mask mandate here until probably 6 weeks ago, and I made the comment on our air that if the numbers are going to go back up by February or March, I wish we'd just keep the mask in place. I don't like this back and forth. Let's just do it till we don't have to do it anymore. And the littlest patriot, who was so anti-mask, as am I. I hate wearing the mask. Said, "How dare you say that?"
Well, there's a big difference: anti-mask and dislike.
Well, I dislike the mask.
Oh, yeah, I hate the mask.
I when there's a mandate, obviously I wear them. He's very anti-mask, but he said, "Why would you say something like that? Isn't it great to get out of the mask?" And I said, "Yeah, but let's put it to bed here. Let's really get it done." Mm-hmm. And you remember the analogies we used? I said it was like somebody adopting a baby for 3 or 4 months and then having the baby taken back. You get that little taste of it and the baby is gone. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Really? That's your analogy?"
You're a monster.
That's an awful. He called me a monster. He said I was the worst human being he'd ever seen.
You know what I've found?
They arrested you for suspicion of kidnapping again.
He did a sex analogy. He said, no, it's like having sex with a supermodel for 3 months and then going back to having sex with regular people. Isn't it better to have the sex with the supermodel? So analogy off, whose do you like better?
I find what's happening to me a bit insulting. And this has happened since the pandemic began. And that's that people I know, friends, people I don't know, will say to me, "Oh yeah, I'm not wearing the mask anymore. I'm going back out." Mm-hmm. Now you.
Oh, to you.
Yeah.
To you personally.
If I were you, I wouldn't. Because you're so unhealthy.
Stay in. Mm-hmm. Stay in.
Oh, if
put your mask on.
Oh, if I get COVID, I'll be fine. But you.
This cloud of pre-existing conditions that enters the room before you do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I get. I don't get anyone. I get everyone preaching about not wearing a mask, and then they look at me and they go, "But that guy should. I'd wear a mask and I wouldn't go out if I was him."
People say that to me about you.
Yeah.
And you say it to my face.
I say,
say it to his face.
you know what they say to me about you? And I always stick up for you.
Absolutely not.
I love you so much because we're best friends. And they'll say to me, "Is Biggie as big as they say he is?" And I said, "Oh, yeah."
Eggnog. Is that nutmeg in this eggnog this year?
They did say, "How big is he now?" And I said, "Look, I don't get into numbers." I said, "But he's as big. I say he's as big as you think he is."
I was insulted by a friend who's dealing with COVID, who said to me, "Quote, yeah, it caught
Through a
up with me."
ventilator?
Yeah.
At least I met you.
Well, I said, this person's dealing with COVID. I said, do you need anything? Can I drop anything by? Oh, I don't want you near me. I would feel horrible if I gave this to you. Even the most fierce anti-masker, anti-COVID, it's a hoax, sees me and goes, now, if I were you.
Don't. That's right.
You don't want your friends feeling like they've flipped the switch on the electric chair.
You're so right. People say to me, is Chris Demm going back? I say, yeah, he's going back. Not Biggie, though. They always say, not Biggie. No. He's got to stay in. He's got to stay in for a while.
Yeah, when the numbers hit the double digits again, I started going,
I hear you.
I'm pulling back.
That's another thing I'm crazy about. I look at those numbers. The Littlest Patriot gave me the COVID dashboard, and I look at it every day.
Has he talked you down lately? Have you had a session with him?
He likes Omicron. He's a big fan of Omicron because he thinks that, and I hope this is true, that it's...
And the evolution of viruses?
Yes, it's mild, and yet everybody gets it. So it's like, okay, get a mild case. It's like getting a vaccination, even if you're not vaccinated. If you get the Omicron, it might be a good thing. That's how he talks me down. He's like, we're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. But like Biggie, I watch these numbers tick up. And I just saw New York's going back to a mask mandate again.
I'm just tired of that, where it's like, I'm with you. At this point, just leave it
until we know.
Yeah.
I think spring or summer.
Stop with the back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. One way or the other.